subtle presence.
All right. What's that?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
That's beautiful.
I think I'm ready to go now.
All right, because we're live.
I sound nasally.
You do a little bit, but
I
let's.
thought it was awful.
Yes. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's noon. It's time for the live radio show. We had to do a little warm up vocal exercises for Scotty because he wasn't feeling himself.
Well, no,
At least I couldn't tell from over here. So.
It's definitely feeling myself.
Anyway, I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with my guest co-host for the week, the wonderful, I was going to say the mohawked, but you're wearing a hat.
Yeah,
is everything
let my hair
okay
down
up
today.
there?
Yeah, it's just
Okay. Okay,
for
that
those
looks.
that can't see.
Yeah, that looks like.
I'm actually shedding a little bit.
Ew.
You look like your name should be Kevin. Or I don't know
Chet.
why. Chet.
More
that
Chet.
would work. More Chet.
Yeah,
You got Chet in your hair.
yeah, a little
Chet head. Okay.
Little Chet.
Scotty
mixed with
Mays
some bread.
is
Hey!
is in the studio with us as guest co-host, and my first guest for the week is in already. The amazing,
angry.
the king of the Dayton one-liner comics, or at least one of the Dayton.
I'm the only one that does it.
You do it well.
Well, Joe Robinette, so he still does some one-liners, but
Yeah,
not
Robinette
quite
does.
as angry. He doesn't throw them at you with quite as much force as Mike Wells is in the studio.
Hey,
with us.
everybody.
Hey, Michael.
How's it going? I just want to open up by complaining about something.
Awesome, go right ahead.
So I was at Chipotle today. Not about the food nor the service. So I got my what I normally get, just a chicken bowl, and I paid for my drink. And you had 6 high schoolers in front of me all get water, and then I go fill up my drink with unsweet tea. That's a longer story in itself. Unsweet tea, and all of a sudden, every single one of the high schoolers takes that water cup and fills it with soda. Which is pissing me off. Pay the extra $1 for soda.
Yeah.
Just pay it.
Entitlement, man.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Here's the
there
thing.
you
So
go,
I sit
there
and
you
eat. I sit and eat. I'm fuming for whatever reason. These pieces of crap. Because I can't curse on the air. Pieces of crap. So I'm sitting there. And I'm like, ah. And so I go fill up the soda again.
Can't say. Ah, jeez.
So
Can't say.
you're fuming with
Yeah.
urine.
Yes. You're,
I said pieces.
You are urinating.
Pieces.
Pieces. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway.
Moving on.
I got told not to say something. So I'm sitting there and and then also more kids keep on piling in, high schoolers, and they all do it. So I'm going to fill up my soda again. Well, not soda, unsweet tea. And he's filling up his with Coke. And when he's not looking, I take some water and I fill it up in my unsweet tea, and I just pour it because he left his food right there. And I just poured it in his Chipotle bowl because he wasn't looking.
Awesome.
And all I'm going to say is I'm still pissed off.
I was going to say.
And you said it again.
Carrying that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Well,
I'm still upset.
Well, I was actually thinking for somebody to come in here and say that you can't say that on the air is clearly not listening to this show much. We apologize once again for whatever we were talking about. Moving on. See, you didn't even know you had so many restrictions.
I know. This is worse than 50 Shades of Grey.
But that is... Yeah, you feel all bound. Yep. Anyway, was that you're done with the being angry?
No, I'm still angry about it. Because it's got to happen to me.
Being
Just
angry
pay the
in a
$1.
urinary kind of way.
Yeah. It's too bad that you didn't get a sense of, I don't know, relief from your vigilante tactics at the condiment station.
I'm pretty sure you can't say any of that on the radio.
First of all, you don't leave your food.
Just trying to be safe.
Yeah.
You don't leave your food. First off, number one rule: you don't leave your food by the drink station.
It's true. That's how
he turned his head for
10
seconds. It's screw you, buddy.
You should have roofied it.
Roofied it?
Roofie?
We just did.
Okay. Well,
see,
fine.
I think we're just proving everybody wrong.
I think we're a little raging against the machine today.
Yeah, we are definitely raging. I was watching. I started watching. I don't know if you guys remember the old Lost in Space.
Yeah,
the
I
old
started
series.
that as well.
Well, you started the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Is it good?
It's okay. I don't remember the old one that well. I was never big into it, but I started watching new ones. I remember they did a movie a while back of it that was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, that was horrible. What,
Yeah,
Matthew LeBlanc
that was
or whatever?
That was that was bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, the series is actually not too bad. But there's some things that always crack me up about those type of sci-fi movies where they just basically the Earth is like take one. It's just a trial run of a planet, and things will be different once we get to Alpha Centauri.
Right.
Since there's no wars there, it's like because there aren't people there yet. You bring that crap with you.
That's right.
And one of the things that always cracks me up is they always want the best and the brightest on all these things. So they take the doctors and they take the engineers, but they never bring anybody that can actually fix something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever seen a doctor try to work on something. A doctor's not going to be able to repair a radio. A doctor's not going to be able to repair an air handler. An engineer is not going to be able. I know engineers that can't build a Souter shelf with the instructions. And all it is a bookshelf with 2 walls and a couple of slots,
So what they really need is somebody who spent a lot of time at IKEA.
Exactly. They need that, and they need an HVAC guy is what they need. Because
Yes.
I've never seen an HVAC guy, but one thing that happens on every one of those movies and TV shows, there's always something that is stuck in or somebody that has to crawl through a ventilation shaft, but there's no HVAC guy. Why would there not be? Because clearly they have plenty of ventilation shafts for everything to get stuck in.
Well, let me ask you this, Don.
Because how many times have you watched a sci-fi movie and somebody had to crawl through a ventilation shaft to safety, or had to shoot or had to shoot down an open hole in the shaft and blow up the whole Death Star?
Well, yeah, that
they could have used an HVAC guy.
Yeah, they could have
Just shoot an HVAC guy from an X-wing fighter. His name's Pedro.
Exactly.
Hey, everybody.
Well, that's all they would have needed. Instead of going through all the trouble with the plans of the Death Star, just ask the HVAC guy where the shafts open up. He could tell you.
That's all shaft talk.
Yeah. We've really kicked off these first 5 minutes.
Exactly.
With,
We're on fire. We're on fire. Oh,
So-
wait, that's a show later on tonight called Ohio's on Fire.
Yeah.
Tune into that from like 5 to 7. It's going to have Dan Dean and Wendy Ferguson, I believe, from I Wish I Was Laughing are going to be on that show.
Laughing.
And
Yeah.
that's going
That's
to be
fantastic
fun.
play on words.
Exactly. So
You know what I didn't like about the Lost in Space episode? Was
what's that?
The father. He was kind of a jerk. He was kind of rude to his kids, man.
What if it's just like an entire thing of like they're just lost in space? Like it's a whole mental thing. It's not like real. It's all like, but like the show Lost, they're in purgatory, but this time they're just lost. Like
I want to see the remake
psychologically.
of Pigs in Space. Let's just bring that back.
As part of Lost in Space?
Yeah,
So
let's
it'd be
have a
Lost
crossover
Pigs
episode.
in Space.
Yeah. And Robbie the Robot has definitely changed. They've stepped his game
he's
up.
a little violent.
Yeah.
At times.
You guys are ruining this for me. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no spoilers.
I
No
know.
spoilers. It's not ruined because I haven't even watched all of it to know what's a spoiler yet.
This is true.
Mm.
This is true.
But I will say that Dr. Smith. It's like I said, I don't remember the original. Dr. Smith really has no reason to be that because that's one of the things. It's the writing. It's like okay, we just need a bad person, so let's throw this person in there. Why are they doing? I don't know. Just because they're bad.
Oh, he's still better than Matt LeBlanc.
Well, just about anything would be better than that.
Like a Cheeto would be better than Matt LeBlanc because it at least tastes delicious.
This
Well,
is
even
true.
a Cheeto that was crushed into the carpet that you had to suck up with a straw is better than Matt LeBlanc. So
I guess what
I
we're
did
trying
that a lot
to
back
say
in
is,
my days.
I said a Cheeto.
Oh, Cheeto.
I guess what we're trying to say is, Matt LeBlanc, you suck as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just play
pretty
yourself,
much,
friend.
yeah.
Your friends was your.
If the listeners take nothing else from this show today, it's that Matt LeBlanc sucks. I think that's probably going to be the title.
And don't steal soda.
That's right. Pay the extra $1.
Like I
Pay the
get it.
extra $1.
I-
I'm just grabbing
you're-
something.
Is that a straw?
That's yeah. Well, I saw a Cheeto.
The show's
down
about
here.
to get real fun. Turn the live feed off, Mike.
Yep, don't want anybody seeing this. So anyway, what the hell are we going to talk about today? I
Hey,
don't even know.
Mike and I used to work together. Oh,
Oh,
we're doing it.
God. Okay.
Oh,
we're doing it.
Actually, I wanted to talk about
When I
this.
booked this show, I completely forgot about that. We have to talk about that.
Do you want to hear the story about why we don't work together anymore?
Absolutely. That's
Scott, you can open up.
So, Mike and I, not Mike and Ike,
no,
but Mike
okay,
and I,
okay.
we used to work loss prevention at a retailer.
So you both worked loss prevention.
Yeah, like I don't want to name drop Walmart's name or anything, but that's what
Okay,
we did.
okay, yeah. So it's like a Walmart-ish kind of store.
Yeah, so
only
we would go in dressed like this, right, and just walk around the store and catch shoplifters all day.
Okay.
And
You got caught.
no, like, but, we were a well-oiled machine. We worked great together.
We were fantastic.
Yeah, we were like Jake and the Fat Man. You know what I mean?
Which one's
And
which,
then-
though?
It does.
Fat Man.
Okay.
I used to weigh a lot heavier. I was like, what? Like 70, 80 pounds heavier then?
Yeah, because
Oh, wow.
you transferred from the TLE, from the Tire and Lube Express,
Mhm.
came into, so it was like it was a step up for him. He's like, I
Yeah.
just wanted to do that.
Get out of the lube game.
Lube game straight
And
into
loss prevention.
game.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so what were we, about a year into working together?
No, I think it was longer than that. I think it was
Longer
like
than
2 years,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
During that time, like I probably struggled with some alcoholism and maybe a little substance abuse.
I've heard
issues.
rumors about that.
Right. Yeah.
I thought they were all false, but
And what was it, the holiday season? Well, I'll tell you what day it was.
Oh, jeez. I feel like it.
It was December 22nd, 2009.
oh
right?
wow.
I remember the date, the
Oh,
exact day.
yeah. Yeah, it was a
It's
traumatic
burned
time
into
for
his
me.
brain.
I had a pocket full of Vicodin that day. Because when
Sweet.
you're working retail in the holiday season,
That's-
dude,
oh, yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
do that sober. It's insane. It's insane. But during that time, who would suspect somebody shoplifting, especially if you're security? That's the perfect cover.
Probably more than you would think.
So I remember grabbing a couple DVDs and taking them into the loss prevention office, and our shifts were staggered at that time.
It was all the
because
Vicodin.
Yeah, because of the holiday season.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
our hours were, I don't know. I don't know how to
They
explain.
were weird. I think you came in at like 8 or 9, and I'd come in at like 11 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get that microphone closer in
Oh.
front of your face. Yeah, there you go. Just like that. We want to be able to hear you, Mike.
Are you sure?
Especially on this story.
So here
Because
I
I've
am.
heard this story from him. I want your rebuttal.
I'm in the office, right? And I'm getting ready to conceal said merchandise. And he walks in to drop his stuff off before he goes back to clock in.
I also walked in early for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
there was a reason.
Yeah.
That day there was a reason for everything. And then, go ahead.
So I'm like, oh, crap. I don't know if I could say that on there, but crap. And I was like an instant. I thought about it for like a second because I could tell your attitude had changed for whatever reason over the past like 2 months. And I don't know what it was about. And I was just
Those
thinking.
are drugs.
And so I walked to the back and I will come back up and they were gone. I didn't want to watch the video of it at all. I just told my ex-boss at the time, I was like, hey, this is what's happened. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to pull the video. I don't want to see anything. And then kind of from there, that's what happened.
So what he didn't see on the video. And look, that day was a very dark day, not only for me, but for Mike as well, and for our boss.
Because we were really good friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good friends.
Yeah. And when you put people in a position to have to do something like that, I mean, what a piece of crap I was that day. But here's the thing, like, I truly didn't understand the disease aspect of addiction. Like, I know it probably sounds like I'm using that as a cop out and an excuse for why I did what I did, but when you are dealing with substance abuse, you don't make good decisions.
Right.
You have the best intentions. You always have the best intentions, but you still make bad decisions because you're a sucker for instant gratification at that point. So what he didn't see on the video was if I would have stood off to the left and concealed said merchandise, I wouldn't have been on camera. But for some reason, there was a higher power that day that picked me up, put me in front of that camera. I popped a handful of Vicodin, stuffed the merchandise in my coat, and walked out the door. And when I came back from lunch,
So you did it on your lunch break.
No, well, I was getting ready to go on
Oh,
lunch
okay.
break.
I was going to say, you always do that at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, and Jeremy, here's a confession for you, buddy. I know you're watching. I didn't clock that much. So
man.
there was time theft.
Time theft as well.
well.
Gee.
That's horrible. Of all the things to do, time theft.
You should have been fired for that.
So, right? No, but I tell you, man, I was handcuffed and escorted in front of the store in front of all these people I've worked with for 2 years, and
Like, even the police didn't want to do it.
yeah, cops didn't want to cuff me, but the regional guy, he was like, "No, let's make an example of this."
Yeah. Yes.
This man.
Yes.
So,
3 days before Christmas.
Yeah, and boy, did I have to come up with some story to my family,
Yeah.
because it was already humiliating that I got caught.
Well, don't feel bad. I once got fired just a few days before Christmas as well. Yeah,
Did you get stuck in a ventilator?
for a piece of electrical tape.
What?
Yeah.
Did it tell on you?
Huh?
Did the electrical tape?
It did.
How
Well, what
much drugs
happened-
were you doing?
We were playing jokes on this one particular. Well, I can't say the names I would like to call him over the air either. But he used to be part of our maintenance crew, and then he left for a while, and he came back as an engineer and thought he was somehow important. Well, he was a big prankster when he was there before, so we started playing pranks on him. And one of the things I did is I took a little piece of electrical tape, I put it on the bottom of his computer mouse so it wouldn't read. And I got fired.
What?
I got fired over a piece of electrical tape on December 19th.
You put what? What?
Yep. When I go on job interviews, a lot of times they'll ask me, they say, well, why'd you leave this place? And it's like, well, let me tell you.
It's a long story.
Yeah. But it's a fun story because basically they didn't fight my unemployment.
Oh.
They were switching companies. They were kind of being in limbo, and they just got the paperwork in too late because they have 30 days. If I contest it, they have 30 days to fight me contesting my unemployment once I'm denied. And they didn't get the paperwork in on time. So basically I got 2 months off and started the job making $5 more an hour than what they were paying me. So for that, I should have sent a thank you card. But yes, I got fired 6 days before Christmas over a piece of electrical tape as a practical joke.
I was really hoping that would have been like, we just put the electrical tape over his mouth and beat him.
If I'm going to get fired over a piece of electrical tape, that should have been the reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And don't think I didn't think about that as I was walking out the door or being escorted out the door, which was kind of fun. I won't go into too much detail to what I said to my boss on the way out because he was kind of a jerk, but he kissed a lot of butt to get where he was because he wasn't really good at being a boss. And as we're walking out, is my boss and his boss. And he's like, well, I feel really bad about this, which I knew was a lie. And I just looked at him. I said, I don't want you to worry about me. I said, I'll be back on my feet in no time. You'll probably still be on your knees. And I turned around and walked away, and I saw his boss start to laugh. So I was like, yep, there you go. Oh, I was mad.
I'd be pissed.
I was furious. But it was one of those things. It's like, well, what am I going to do about it? Might as well walk out and be a jack.
Rabbit.
Be a jerk. Yeah, be a jackrabbit. Just get one final punch in. Because I could actually make my boss back then, I could actually make him leave the room just with one or two comments, and he wouldn't talk to me for weeks.
That's wild.
Because he was a jerk.
So I want to bring up the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that was horrible. Did you know?
I thought we were on your level, man.
Oh, no. That was like, I've never gotten fired from anything. I've done some shady stuff in my life, but I should have gotten fired a lot.
Bring up
from
the
my
mood
mouth.
for us, Rainbow Bright. What you got?
Phil, we were talking about this earlier.
If we're relying on Mike Wells to bring up the mood.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know, these are all the people listening, did you know that you can say anal sex on the air, but you can't say the A-S, fill in the blank, and then the F word afterwards?
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I just want to say that to
No
everybody.
bueno.
Yeah,
No bueno.
That's true. But there's certain things
I got a
you can't
story
say.
about that.
No
I want to tell
bueno?
a story
You got a
about
story about
anal.
No bueno?
About
Oh,
anal sex.
about-
Yeah. Okay,
Well, if we can say it, we might as well run with it.
So, this is going to make me feel like a piece of poop. Sorry, I would have said the other word. So here's the story. I love this story. It's one of my favorite stories. So this is right after I got divorced. So I was like sleeping with like a lot of people, just because like that's how I
now by people.
Oh, women.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wondering.
And horses. Anyway,
okay. So not quite all people.
No, not quite all people. I love this. Basically, like I slept my way, like I screwed my way through depression. That's what I did. Like that's how I got out of depression from getting divorced. So I met this girl. I was like 25 at the time, 24. She was like 20. And that guy went like like he's listening to what I'm saying.
It's possible.
And
Mind
I was
your
like 20.
business, Ted.
And then all of a sudden, like she lives at her grandparents' house, right? And she invites me over. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, so we're doing adult stuff. Adult stuff, I mean
right,
paying her
You're like
taxes.
pulling weeds
yeah.
and cutting a
Yeah.
flower bed.
No, but like her grandparents aren't there.
Discussing 401ks. Gotcha.
And so yeah, discussing 401. So what do you think about 401ks? Really? How much do you put in?
All
Just
of
the
it.
tip.
Oh, she
I'm
took
putting all of my 401k.
and there everything, even in my Roth IRA. I don't even know that. But she's like, all right, stick it in my butt. Like, I was like, have you ever done this before? She's like, nope. And I was like, do you want me to do that? Like, I'll put some lube on. She's like, no, just use me. Just use me and just put it in there. And I was like, you've never done this before. She's like, nope. So I was like, you're going to want me? She's like, just do it. So I'm like, Pam. And she's like, ah! Get it out, 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 get it out. And she's like bent over crying. And I'm like, are we going to finish or what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
And then, so moral of the story is that I stopped talking to her after that until, what was it? Like 4 months later, and I messaged her because, you know, I wanted to get some, and I knew she was down. This makes me sound such like a horrible person. I'm not like this anymore.
Like 20 of my Christian friends just left.
Yeah, now that
live
we've told
feed.
this story, I'm not sure we can tell this story. No, go ahead.
But then I called her. I text messaged her. I was like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, oh, my grandma just died. She's like, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see if you wanted to hook up. Like, I didn't even care. And that was me being the biggest butthole of my entire, I can't say the other word. That was me being the biggest butthole of my entire life. Like that moment. You
should have been fired.
Like that was I should have. That was the first time in my life, like I was like, man, like that, I'm an a-hole. Like that was and that's the only time I've ever felt like that.
Time. Well, you've led a good life then.
Yeah. Somebody wanted me to ask you about a girl in your apartment complex.
Huh?
I don't know. It was Bubba.
Girl in my apartment complex.
Yeah. See, Jeremy, you make me look stupid. Get off my feed.
Like what apartment complex?
Yeah, which apartment? It's like the touring.
Like when I was divorced?
I don't know. That's all broken information.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
why we don't.
You were a man whore. You were dubbed a man whore.
That's why we don't take questions over Facebook Live.
How's the story bringing up?
Apparently, the word the word butthole is trending because nobody says that anymore. Butthole.
It said butthole is trending. Is that what you just said?
It's going to start trending now.
Awesome. Well, you brought butthole back, Mike.
Good way to bring the butthole back.
That's how you bring up the mood of a show. All right.
You're welcome.
Looks like we've got a mystery on our hands, folks. Mike Shea, along with Eventide Entertainment and the Neon Movie Theater, will be premiering his newest short film, Monarch, a neo-noir detective mystery set right here in the Gem City, Dayton, Ohio. The event will be held on Thursday, May 17th at 7:30 p.m., and you can be a part of the process. Just go to www.gofundme.com/Monarch Film Premiere, and you can donate to make this one real night to remember. Lots of rewards and gifts for those who donate, including free tickets, concessions, posters, and movie downloads. Tickets are only $5 and can be picked up at the Neon box office. Mark your calendars for May 17th. It's a night with the detective, and you don't want to miss it.
All right, we are back on the, where are we? The Life Radio Show.
Welcome back.
I'm your host, Don Smith. Sitting in with my guest co-host for the day, Mr. Scotty Mays, and our guest for the first hour, Mr. Mike Wells.
Hey, everyone.
Who tells wonderful stories.
He does. He's a great.
Yeah,
But I'm not a storyteller on stage, so.
No, not at all.
Well, I can tell why. I'm
If you don't know, I'm giving Don the finger.
Yes, that's okay. It's okay. You're not the only one. I have people walk by the window and do that all the time.
That's just rude.
Well, I pay them to. Keeps me grounded. That way I don't start thinking I'm a successful radio personality because
Well, from what you just shared with us, I think you're very successful here at Wright State University Radio from noon to 2.
Right. What the hell are you talking about? No. Anyway, the graph show, you guys started talking about that. What happened? Let's talk about it.
Well, the graph is like the Bermuda Triangle of Ohio.
There is no signal out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So there's
phone.
no proof that you were actually doing comedy out there.
Well, I did take some pictures.
So your camera worked.
The camera worked.
Okay.
The phone, however, did not.
I was giving back alley hand jobs.
Yes.
Okay.
And by back
for
alley,
money or
it's
for
No, just for
for
fun.
local
just for
ice
fun?
cream
Yeah.
factory.
Okay. I got you. It happens.
But there were horses.
So, like, if you ever wondered what happened,
you're quite the equestrian. Actually.
Yeah, quite.
Quite.
if you ever wondered what happened to all the animals when they closed down Fantasy Farm,
I have.
they are mounted on this bar owner's wall. They have a giraffe, a stuffed giraffe
Mhm.
Really?
from the bottom of the
Was it
neck
like
to
a
the-
real giraffe that somebody
It was real.
stuffed, or was it just
It was
like
real.
Okay.
It was real. He claimed that he went to South Africa and shot it, and Mike came up with the conclusion: how much of a jerk do you have to be to kill a giraffe?
What has giraffe done to anybody?
Yeah.
Right.
I just clean up leaves up here. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, you never really hear a lot of people getting charged by an angry giraffe.
No.
A giraffe protecting its cub.
yeah.
And the way they attack you, they swing their neck at you anyway. Like,
So if you had a knife, it could basically kill itself. Got it.
Like, don't shoot a giraffe.
Yeah, that's just
this guy had everything hanging on his wall.
wow. And any reason, or he just wanted to?
I just think he was proud of his work.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very I don't even know. DeGraff is just a very weird town.
It sounds like it.
But
Yeah.
that crowd, they were ready to laugh.
Yeah,
So that was a DeGraff giraffe as well. Yes.
Ooh, hand me those ashes over there. I'm just going to go ahead and inhale some of those right now.
We save those for Jess Courtney, actually.
Of course.
It was a great show. Everybody killed it. I don't think. I mean, they told me I had a good show, but a lot of my jokes went over their head. They were very like.
Yeah.
Like,
they're very DeGraffian. Is that what?
No, but everybody everybody freaking killed
Everybody
it.
fun time.
Fun
Everybody
time.
fun time.
Everybody
Fun
freaking
time,
killed
Freddie.
it. Everybody killed the show. Everybody, every single person.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fantastic show.
And the owner killed every animal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Well,
killing
they didn't
going
laugh.
on.
He killed them and put them up on their wall.
Yeah,
Right.
there was a lot of killing going on the giraffe.
Well, it was-
DeGraff. that was actually an accident.
But they love comedy.
Yeah.
That
They
you
do.
could. They really do. It was
Yeah. Comedy and dead animals. That's
I mean, they don't get it out there a lot apparently. So I mean, it's like you say that's an hour away from just anything,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Yeah.
loved it.
good.
Yeah, at
good.
one point I was going down 235, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, and I look over to my right, and there's a brand new Dollar General store that just opened, and I'm like, this is their Walmart. This is what they have out
Yeah,
here.
woohoo! They're
Let's go to the mall.
celebrate. Yeah, the Dollar General Mall.
It was crazy. I had to drive 10 miles outside of the town just to use the phone.
Yeah,
Wow.
I could have died that night. Nobody would have known about it.
Yeah.
true. Kind of
You mean on
Instagram my death.
stage, or
I didn't die on stage.
You ended up stuffed at the bar.
I actually had them rolling on stage.
He did.
Good,
You really did.
good.
I had them questioning who I was on stage.
I'm not sure what he's talking about,
Right.
but he's really angry.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Why is that loud guy so upset?
About what? Every single time I do a show, it's pretty solid, but every single time I have like 2 or 3 people afterwards, we don't know if you're a genius or crazy. I'm like, crazy? I don't even know how to answer that.
It's like, with the recovery comedy, a lot of people pull me aside after my set and ask me, is that real? Are those real stories you're telling, or is that just an act? And I'm like, that's the God's honest truth.
Yep, that is an absolute act, because you don't want to admit anything, or you might end up in. No, but that's the best comedy when it's actual.
Yeah,
true stuff.
If anybody gets a chance to go out to DeGraff to do some stage time, I would highly encourage it.
Absolutely.
Yep, if you can find it.
Well, the thing is, he's got Stuart Huff in there in June.
Yeah.
You guys seen Stuart Huff before?
Oh, yeah.
He is amazing.
Been a while, but yeah.
He is
I have.
far. I think the best comic I've ever seen live. He is the best comic I've ever seen live.
Wow.
Hands down. And
a month before I got into comedy, I saw Stuart Huff at Wiley's.
it was just like,
And I was like, wow.
And that was it. You
That
got
was
clean
it.
and
That
started doing
actually
comedy.
planted the whole seed to this journey that I'm on now.
the only reason I got
Cool.
back in the comedy because of him. I saw him do stand up. I was like, that's not funny.
Yeah,
I
he's
can do this.
That crap. Gee. That's always good. That's always a good way to get into comedy.
Well, and we got
by seeing
reunited
how
through it
terrible
too.
somebody
Yeah.
else.
Because I've always loved him like a brother, and we under the circumstances things
Right.
got weird. I created a weird environment, and
Way to go, Scotty.
yeah. But now that we're back in each other's lives, it's weird because now I wish we still worked together because I'm not the same person that I used to be.
Right. Yeah, he wouldn't have to rat you out.
we would be killing it in the loss prevention world.
Well, yeah, because nobody would suspect you as a loss prevention.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they'd probably be like, somebody needs to watch that guy.
Yeah. They'd be watching you for the store as you were watching them for the. That would be confusing.
Well, I work down at the jail now, and
Well, there you
I'm
go.
like, I look like a guy working at the jail that should be in
Yeah.
jail.
Do they ever give you trouble going in, or do they know you?
They put me, they locked down all the doors the other day when I tried to leave, and I was body cavity searched.
Really?
No.
Was that by
Oh.
request?
I was gonna like, sounds fun.
Yeah, that was by request. Though.
It was by my request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said, "Hey Tim, what are you doing?" I might have taken something. Wink, wink. I might be smuggling contraband.
You mean like the band? Like, your whole band fits up there?
Yeah. It's hard to get the bass player up there because he's got one of those slap basses. Anyway, do we want to hit some news stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, I got some older news stories we just want to burn through here. Trying to make out with the Easter Bunny isn't exactly appropriate behavior, especially when kids are watching. But that's what police said an Ohio woman did. This might have been in DeGraff. I'm not sure. No, Mansfield, actually. LaDonna Hewitt, 54, was arrested on, around the Easter time because the dates have changed. This is an old news story. Anyway, after police said she lewdly propositioned and grabbed an Easter bunny working at a carousel park in Mansfield. When Hewitt posed for a photo with the rabbit, witnesses said she inappropriately grabbed the costume character and made suggestive comments within earshot of families at the indoor park. Someone called Mansfield police. Assistant Chief Keith Porch told the TV station WLW, we received a report from a citizen, an unusual report from a citizen that called us to Richland Carousel Park, an intoxicated woman doing some lewd acts on the Easter Bunny. Nothing?
I don't even know. Is that fantasy or is that?
She was a furry, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
It was
if she
a
was-
furry
oh,
thing.
She could have been furry.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, she was 54. I don't think anybody wanted to look and see if she was furry.
Old Peter Cottontail hopping down the muffin trail.
Yeah.
Huh?
You can't say Peter on here.
You can't say Peter on air. My favorite superhero is Peter Parker.
Yep.
Peter Piper pick a pep. Blah, 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 that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, that's just weird. I mean, like everybody has their stuff they're into.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
guess
hairy
so, but
situation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That's
Kill yourself.
I will. Right after. I'm going to DeGraff to do it so nobody knows.
right. So, yeah, you can be out there for weeks. And once they find you, they wouldn't even be able to phone anybody.
What? Like,
I'd be mounted on that bartender's wall.
I guess the thing is, like, I don't know. It could have been like she just has a thing for Easter bunnies.
Well, yeah, but the etiquette, though, tells you if you're at a kid's party,
You just
and
go
you
down.
proposition the Easter bunny and they turn you down, you go find another Easter bunny.
Yeah.
You don't go ahead and just start groping while the kids are there.
What
Or
if
just
it's a
go find
black
another kid's
Easter
party.
bunny?
Well,
I'm not sure what that has to do with it. Is there
Different furries like different things.
Racist Easter bunnies? Or
No,
anything?
I'm just saying. Like, never mind. We'll just skip to the next story.
All right, I might have touched on this one before, but I can't remember, so we'll do it again. A Louisiana couple decided to announce the sex of their unborn baby in a pretty jaw-dropping way. Grandmother-to-be Melanie Kleibert posted a video to Facebook on Sunday featuring her son Mike Kleibert, an alligator wrangler and trainer who runs Kleibert's Turtle and Alligator Farm in Hammond and goes by the name of T-Mike, the Gator King, because why wouldn't he?
He'll be dead by 50.
Yeah. The video shows Mike Kleibert holding an alligator's mouth shut on a lawn, surrounded by friends and family gathered for the gender reveal party. First thing that came to my mind, according to Kleibert, first thing that came to my mind when my girlfriend and I decided to have a gender reveal party were alligators. They're a big part of our family, so why not incorporate them into our reveal? At one point in the video, Kleibert places a watermelon in the gator's mouth. The reptile snaps her jaw shut, and blue liquid comes gushing out of her mouth, indicating the Kleibert's baby is going to be a boy and probably will be eaten by an alligator before it's 4.
Is this also in the show Swamp People?
I think it should be. If it's not, it should be.
is that Troy? Shoot him!
Troy!
Shoot it!
Man.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what their other ideas were.
Yeah, that's that. If this was the winner.
Right.
We're going to go down right here. What did you just say? Biscuit burger.
At home where you make it. Everybody know that.
We're going to make a stewed chili, and if it's blue.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm kind of, I just don't, I don't know.
You don't even
I want
know
to
on
get
that,
gross, but the restrictions here are killing me today.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
It really is. I feel like a
every
man is
week
holding
I
me
put up
down.
with that. Yeah, exactly. Every week I have to put up with that. And there's so many things. This show could be great if it weren't for all the restrictions.
I got to tell you, that's the first I've seen somebody pop their head in and say, "You can't say it."
right.
And I'm the
And
person
I'm
they say it
disappointed
to.
because that means he usually does not listen.
I have a feeling that it's acceptable any other time, but he was at Chipotle filling up his water cup with soda.
I think you are probably that's what it was. He had the unsweetened tea in his Chipotle bowl.
His queso.
And it made him furious. And now you told that story and he knew and he's like, I got him.
You can't say this word.
And then ran out.
Did you say bitch?
Not.
Can you say what?
Just saying, poke his head and be like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Yeah. Well, if he were a female dog, you'd be fine.
Well, I was.
So I got a story about this female dog.
What a bitch.
What a bitch.
All right, moving on. A voter in a tiny northeast Wisconsin town wants to bring ducks into the polling station along with a sign that reads, "If you don't vote, you can't squawk."
Those must be Democrats.
Democrats. There you go. Winnicott town clerk Yvonne Zobel. That's like the beer, the Jobel, but this is with a Z, which is kind of beer anyway. Anyway, she says that the voter asked town officials Tuesday whether she could bring 3 caged ducks and the sign into town hall during the November election. This is an old story. See,
3 Caged Ducks is the tribute band to Three Dog Night.
3 caged ducks. Woohoo! Jobel.
Say that one more time, but look me in the eyes.
Jobel.
Eyes.
See the
yeah,
twinkle?
that's something
There
for
was
you.
a twinkle.
I can tell that shirt's
The
pretty
way that
thin.
track light hit his eyeball.
Zobel ducked giving an answer initially, and instead, yes, as they said it, and instead checked with the state elections commissions. It advised her to keep the ducks at least 100 feet away from the polling booth so they wouldn't be disruptive, because you don't want disruptive ducks telling you who to vote for.
Wouldn't you have to pass a bill for that?
Apparently 3 of them, all in cages. There were 3 caged ducks with, I'm assuming, 3 bills, unless there was some kind of nuclear thing and they had like some kind of deformity, and that's why she wanted to bring them there to teach you how to vote.
Howard. Maybe one of them's name was Howard.
Could have been.
Great
Would you
movie.
have to cage them though?
No.
I mean, because that would have just seemed wrong.
I'm pretty sure she's single.
Yeah. Not if the ducks have something to say about that. Yeah.
She is quackers.
That's the penguin, sorry.
Whatever.
Some visitors to the Detroit Zoo will soon be able to add animal droppings to their souvenir list. Free buckets of 5 pounds of animal manure, dubbed Detroit Zoo Poo.
That's funny.
Oh, we missed the date. It was handed out on April 14th. See, I told you this
Get
was
some of
old
that
news.
DZP.
Yeah. It was handed out on April 14th as part of the zoo's Green Fest celebration. I would think that would be Brown Fest would be more. The event precedes Earth Day and will showcase how the zoo recycles waste, apparently by giving it to people. Buckets will be available for the first 1,000 visitors to the zoo's anaerobic digester educational display.
I want to meet the people who did not know that was going on. They were like, here's your bucket of poo.
Yeah. What? Heck with you. The digester converts 500 tons of animal manure and other organic waste each year into methane-rich gas to help power the zoo's animal hospital. Nutrient-rich fertilizer is a byproduct. The zoo notes that compost is, quote, is great for putting in your garden. So, yeah, Detroit Zoo Poo.
It's like hot sauce. I'll put that on everything.
Yeah, put it on it. Put it in the garden.
Makes it taste poopy.
Just can't shake this pink eye.
Yeah, damn, well, everybody knows that. So, yeah, that's, we missed it. It's April 14th, so we're 4 days late to get our zoo poo because I was really hoping.
Zoo. That sounds like Trump's new running mate. Zoo poo.
Yeah, yeah, that zoo poo, that doesn't sound Russian to me.
Zoo Putin.
Alexander.
Zoo Putin. Yeah,
Zoo
Detroit
Putin.
Zoo Putin. Phew, poot it in your garden.
Oh,
How many sexual innuendos has Putin said in his life because of his last name?
Yeah.
sticking on your Putin.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
Putin over there.
Yeah.
We
Get me some Putin.
Putin.
Yeah, Putin.
Mhm.
That's what I just call him Puddin'. That's
Puddin'.
sounds better to me.
He looks like his body's pudding.
Puddin'.
Is that Puddin'? But he's got such a tough first name that it makes up for the pudding. You know, Vladimir. That's
Vladimir.
Yeah, that's like Vladimir.
Vladimir sounds like
Vladimir
a kid,
Taylor,
an
yeah.
emo kid. Vladimir.
You're right. It
Nowadays.
does. Yeah.
Emo pudding.
Yeah, it used to be tough. It used to be tough in like the 1600s.
Yeah.
That was a name to be feared.
Now everybody's like, why did you name your kid
Yeah,
Vladimir?
Vladimir, what's wrong with you?
Well, we're both vampires. Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, suck on this, I guess. Would be, yeah.
That'll be the title of the show. Suck on this.
Well, I thought we already decided it was Matt LeBlanc sucks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
He
I
does
forgot to write
suck.
that down. Let
Yeah.
me go ahead. Matt LeBlanc sucks. We have to.
You know, I knew he really sucked because that episode of Friends when he was eating the chicken, he was only eating the skins. He wasn't even eating the chicken. He's like,
No.
I'm just eating the skins. It's chickens. I'm like, dude,
That's disgusting.
it is.
Yeah, that's the reason you should suck right there.
That's right.
Yeah. You know how you know when I first knew he sucked. He was on Friends.
He was on Friends.
That was because I mean, was there anybody on that show that didn't?
Paul Rudd was on there as a character for a while.
Yeah, he kind of sucks.
Not Paul Rudd.
Tom Selleck.
I like Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck's all right.
You hate Paul Rudd?
He's in
Slap at
so
the
much
bass.
stuff where he just is terrible.
You know what? I have to agree with him on this.
Whatever. He's an angel.
He's just the perfect. He's an absolute angel. No, Paul Rudd pretty much sucks. I can't even. He's so
I killed
bad. I
you with
can't
my
even
eyes.
think of the stuff he was in that sucked
Ant-Man.
because it sucked that bad.
This is 40-year-old not 40-year-old version. Knocked Up.
Sucked.
What?
Not a fan. Not a fan. What was the one where they did all the LARPing?
I know, probably sucked to you
Yeah.
anyway.
All
don't
the
even-
LARPing?
Yeah, exactly. There was LARPing involved in one of them, and it sucked because it's like
That-
the same character he plays in everything
Well, yeah.
he's in.
I mean, just like, what's his face? Robert Downey Jr.'s played the same character in
Is
every
that the
movie
same
ever.
one where
Yeah, not a fan of his either.
the Whispering Flower, the Whispering,
Yeah, Whispering Eye.
the Whispering Eye?
Whispering Eye. I sent
That
that an
sounds-
email
yeah,
to somebody,
that-
Whispering Eye, and they're like, you can't send that. My boss reads these emails.
Oh, great! Now my mom's on here. Your mom's over there. Mine's over here.
I think my mom turned off when I started talking about anal sex.
I like how you. I like the emphasis you put on that.
Yes.
Say it again.
Almost sounded dubbed.
Anal.
when you said it.
Sex.
Joe Bell.
Ooh.
Smoke.
Yep, Scotty, we're going to have to ask you to step out for a few minutes. Just hang a sock.
I'll just watch
hang
through
a
the
sock
window.
on the door
I'll
as
just
you
watch
leave.
through the window.
We got covered. Yeah, that's right.
Nah, give him
I
a
want to hear
shove.
him breathing heavy in the corners.
Well, yeah, so he'll have to stay on the microphone. Anyway, we're going to have to take a break. This is a bad time to take a break because it really looks like
Yeah.
something's going to
It
happen.
is.
But fingers crossed. We're going to take a little break because the FCC is telling us to, and we're already on their bad list. So we better take a little break here, and we will be back here shortly. See ya.
If there's one thing that's true about wrestling fans, it's how much they like to talk about wrestling. Join Aaron Lopez and Ben Norsworthy for the Top Rope Wrestling Podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Tune in every episode and be ringside as these two break down all of the big matches in the world of professional wrestling. Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
All right. I'll tell you what to do. Go that way. Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your for the second hour. We've survived the first one without getting kicked off the air. We were back for a second hour. You confused me. Mike Wells just licked his microphone and threw me off.
No, I didn't. I stuck my tongue out like it was a, I don't know if I could say that word. Penis?
Like poop noodle.
You can't say penis, but you can say poop noodle.
Penis is okay.
No, that's okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't say the other
because
one.
it's a medical term.
Penis.
You can't say Detroit.
So you got to test it and make sure it still works.
Yeah.
Can't
Not
say
your
piston.
penis, but the word.
You can't say Pistons.
Detroit Pistons.
Anyway, we're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with this week's guest co-host, Scotty Mays.
Hey, are you live
and
on
the
that?
Not yet, I will be.
Okay.
are you going live too? See, everybody discussing going live. We're live on the radio.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Oh, this thing's
Take
on?
your Facebook and slap it with your poop noodle. We're on the air.
I do that. That's the only way I can finish a lot of the time.
Michael Wells is sitting in with us, just sticking around for the second hour.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I know. They're like,
and
man,
we're joined by Ranson Karr.
The great Ranson Karr.
The fantastic.
Why'd you look
the-
at me when you said that? like,
To
you
make
looking for
sure-
confirmation?
I was looking for reassurance.
Okay.
Scotty, and,
Yeah.
if we're going to do words of affirmation, I like your glasses.
I think they're subpar.
I would pull that closer to. I would stick that thing closer to your mouth, Ranson.
Just like you do your, just like your poop noodle.
Yeah,
Just
perfect.
like that right
perfect,
there.
All right,
right
that's
there.
enough.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Check.
Not just check. Yeah, we're good. we were discussing off the air, and it turns out that every one of your guys' favorite actors sucks. So I just wanted to go ahead and clear that up.
He's one of them. I have many.
Oh, okay. Do the rest of them suck or just him?
Well, I don't know. So here's something that you may be disappointed about. I'm a Leonardo DiCaprio fan.
No way, he's the greatest. Come on.
He's amazing.
Like I loved him in Gangs of New York. I loved Gangs of New York. It's one of my favorite movies.
Couldn't stand that movie, but I've liked him in other things.
Catch Me If You Can is hilarious.
That was okay.
Love
That
movie.
was a pretty good.
I still haven't seen The Reverend.
Oh, it's good, man.
I haven't seen that.
That's
either.
the one he won his Oscar for. I still haven't seen.
Yeah, the
even.
sad part is, like, he definitely deserved it, but he deserved it on so many more that I thought were better than that.
Not
but-
The Beach though.
Beach is horrible.
I love the beach. Come on.
It's a weird
Yeah,
movie.
that was-
That like entire like
through the-
running scene.
Now,
Fighting the shark.
early DiCaprio, not a fan. Some of his later
Gilbert
stuff was
Grape.
okay.
What's he in Gilbert
he was
Grape?
Gilbert
awesome in
Grape was
that.
good.
I thought
Gilbert
he
Grape
was
good.
special.
He was special. Yeah.
No, like actually special.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good.
So
one.
he was
That
shocked
a
on
good
his next movie when he actually spoke clearly.
Yeah, he's like, I don't go to water tower.
one. Yeah. that special kid really can't act, and you saw him in his next movie.
Yeah, they really fixed that.
Yeah.
Stem cells, man.
Yeah,
Stem
that's right.
cells.
But no, Christian Bale's terrible. And I'm just going to say
No,
it. I'm
he's
just going to
not
say it. Christian
terrible.
Bale is
He's not.
awful.
I disagree.
You're all wrong.
The Machinist?
The Machine. Oh my God.
No thanks.
You never seen? Have you seen The Machinist?
Like I said, I don't watch some of his
I think it's
movies
just we
because
have
he
dark
sucks in everything I've
personalities
seen him in.
So it's kind of
What have you seen him in that he sucked so bad?
Well, Batman, I couldn't stand him in Batman.
You're an
I thought He
idiot.
was awful. I thought he was awful. Awful.
Agree to disagree, but you're an idiot.
Well, here's the thing: superheroes with asthma don't really make me feel safe. You know,
They make me feel safe because I always see what their cat. They're
Mike, I
tracking
just want
me.
you to talk like Batman the rest of the show. That way, it really gets on Don's nerves.
well that way I'll try to see.
We're okay, Don.
I'll try to see if one of you guys has an inhaler he can use. So that way, so I don't want gas.
mine has crack
passing
in it.
out.
I wouldn't suggest using it.
What's that?
Mine has crack in it.
His inhaler.
Like the essence of crack, like you what
No,
kind
it's
of
real
just the actual
crack.
crack, like crack cocaine.
Essence
Like-
of crack.
He was at Sinclair
like-
before he
well,
came
we were
here,
discussing anal sex a lot, so we,
You can say anal sex,
Yes.
but you can't say A-S, other word, and then the F word.
Right, that would be
Oh.
terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
That would
just
be
switched it to
yeah.
poop noodle.
Poop noodle, yes.
Yeah,
You're giving them slipping the poop noodle.
I'll let you guys handle that.
Yeah,
All right.
but we appreciate that. So you're just going to stay there and be quiet while
I'm
it
not going to
happens.
handle
So you-
anybody's poop noodle. It's all on you guys.
It's the only way I can do stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ranson.
There's
Yep.
4 morons in here.
I
now.
think
we're,
I'm-
we're about
Oh,
to
yeah.
we're about to blow the
Yeah.
roof off this place.
Oh, I think so. Somebody.
there may be some spontaneous combustion. You keep looking out the window, being like, I get paranoid.
He's
dude.
hoping that there's
Yeah,
somebody else
yeah.
that's better.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping
Please,
another
I need a
DJ
guest.
comes along with better guests, and we
Yeah,
can
I
all
don't blame
just
you.
leave, and we will leave this show for somebody else to.
I'm
Try
just
to
going
pick
do
up the
things with
pieces
this
and move
microphone
on.
when somebody that you like comes by to rush them off.
That's the thing. I don't like anybody though. That's the problem. apparently, I have no ability to judge terrible actors. Like
I don't know how I feel about this right now.
Anyway, welcome, Ranson.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. How you just finished a 48-hour film festival?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun and also very tiring and hard on the marriage. You know what I mean? All the way around.
Yeah,
Gone
yeah.
all night editing, and she's like texting me like, "All right, hey, where are you really at? I've seen you edit in 5 minutes before, and it goes really quick, and because that's all it was. The video was 5 minutes. It was comedian Brian Swinehart came up with this idea for Easter Seals Film Festival. It's a disability film festival. So he knew this kid from where he grew up in Covington, and he wrote the story around him, and then you get everything you have to put in the story. So he has to go back and like add things in. Obviously, like the one guy had to wear a hat, and somebody had to have a coffee cup, and certain things have to be done in the film festival so that they know it's all recorded then and not before,
Right.
and written, it's that way. And so we had 48 hours to get it all done. We got it done, and I'm really proud of it. It's probably the best thing I've ever done, which it probably doesn't say a whole lot, but it is really good. I'm really excited that he let me have a big part of it. And there's a kid named Scooby. His name's Dennis Willoughby. Is the main actor. He has Down syndrome from
And
Covington.
the character's
Yeah.
name is Scooby.
Well, his nickname in his whole life, in real life, has been
Oh,
Scooby.
okay.
So we based it around him. Brian wrote the story, and then we had a guy come in named Matt Witherspoon. He filmed it, did a really good job, and then I did all the editing, and I also acted in it. I'm the mean boss, and I take advantage of the kid with Down syndrome and place bets that, like, with him, like I bet him $100 that his favorite high school football team is not going to win.
So you exploit him,
Exactly.
right?
Because that's what I do well. I'm a
Because
jerk.
you got to be careful when you say take advantage of.
You're
'Cause
right.
there are
You
some
do,
other-
yeah.
You exploit
Especially
him.
nowadays.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I just wanted to make it clear.
Right,
Because that's
No.
a whole different
I
type of movie,
exploited
and
him
that's-
for money and
Okay,
made him
yeah.
work late at his job and did awful things.
That's what I assumed you were saying.
Yes, I understand.
Me
you need
too.
to explain
But
this.
yeah.
In the Harvey Weinstein. Why are you winking? Come to my trailer,
Good,
buddy.
Mike.
See, the sad thing
Oh,
is,
that's funny.
all of you have been on set with me, so the fact that you're
Yeah.
saying this doesn't make me feel too good about myself right now.
Yeah. Well,
Me too.
we know what we had to do to get parts in your movie.
The
So-
sad part is Scotty acted and never even got seen on camera. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, good job then.
he's been
Like,
cut
well,
out.
you miss one shoot and you're fired.
Yeah.
So
That happens.
Smoke
That's-
crack and you're fired.
that-
Hey,
that's
hey.
that was method
Well, not for
acting.
you.
Hey,
that was
you had to
method
get- yeah.
acting.
Well,
Meth?
you weren't supposed to.
Method.
meth
Triggered.
acting is that?
Triggered.
Meth
Right now.
acting.
Yeah,
Hashtag triggered.
we triggered Scotty.
Yeah,
Oh,
it didn't
God.
take much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I got so many
It doesn't.
words I could say on the word trigger. But that's just
Yeah, now it's back to horses again. So, trigger.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we talked a lot about horses, and
Yeah, but you went way back, Long John Silver type.
that's
day.
true. That's true. Yeah.
So
All
what
I
do you guys
feel
think
like
of the
it-
economic situation right now in
Yeah,
the
I
world?
feel like this
How
room
about I
is just
said
full
Long
of
John
ADD
Silver
right now. Like
instead
we're
of
just
the Lone Ranger.
we get sidetracked so easy. All of a sudden, we're talking about a horse and whatever you and Scotty did with it. Me and Mike were real uncomfortable.
Hey, the horse had no name.
After you guys are done with it, get it out of here.
He's out in the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
What?
Moving on. So,
So it's supposed to be released at some point, I believe today. So I'll have a link I'll be posting on Facebook and try to get a lot of people to see it, and hopefully it wins something or gets a lot of
Validation.
play. Yeah.
so you can actually release it on YouTube before it goes.
So
to,
the
before
film
the
festival, no, the festival itself is giving us a link to start putting it out today.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I put up a movie poster earlier today promoting it and said that the link should come out here soon. So Brian texted me earlier and said that they should be sending him a link that we can start promoting it. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was exciting, man. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Would love to do it again, but like I said, I literally didn't sleep Saturday night into Sunday to get it done, and that's rough, man. That's just rough. Scotty himself is used to that, but not me. Not me.
Bang, man, you guys are mean to each other.
Jeez.
I'm the
just,
nice guy. How am I the nice guy?
Dang,
man.
Everybody in my life has a different type of love that gets expressed, and this is just it's a love-hate relationship.
It's a man love
I truly
relationship.
hope he chokes on his ham sandwich out the door. But I mean that in the most loving way.
Are you talking about me? I don't even have a ham sandwich.
I do.
Yeah, that's,
What a
we're getting
jerk.
really personal now.
What a jerk.
Guess I'll be the only one eating a ham sandwich today.
You
Sorry about
remember
your
when
luck.
you used to come in here and you'd get cookies? What has Don done? The production values went way down here. I used to get cookies.
Give me that water back. It's
It's almost gone now.
going to your next guest. Spit it back out.
Oh wait, do you have water?
No.
We did.
You did.
I
No
offered
water
you a
for you.
water.
Did
Scott.
you really?
You said no.
I don't think you.
No, he really did. I remember him asking.
It was between your
Wait,
third-
you're
like,
like,
no,
Exactly.
Don, I don't hydrate
It
myself.
was between
Yes.
your 13th Red Bull.
Yeah,
What
if it doesn't have 16 milligrams of
No, is that a
caffeine-
number we're throwing out now?
Yeah,
16
I threw it out
milli-
there.
He
I
could
threw
have
it
played
out
with
there.
eating Gilbert. Great.
Yeah, he could. Actually, he could pass.
That's what I sound like when I'm on
Yeah,
crack.
talking like that, he could probably pass for what's his name? I can't even think of his name now.
Christian Bale.
Christian
yeah,
Bale.
I knew you were going there.
Exactly,
I knew you were going.
exactly.
You know what, Don?
See,
I
that's
really
how
liked
much
this
I
show
care
before.
about Christian Bale is I can't even think of his name.
Are you like even wondering why you even?
Yeah.
here?
Or Christian.
Absolutely.
You're
I just,
like,
all I
wait.
can think about right now is a ham sandwich. Thanks. I'm so hungry.
On a
What
focaccia.
about Christina Ricci?
Who's that?
Oh my God.
Adam's Family.
I'm just joking. I don't even know who that is either. No, I do.
I've heard the name.
I do.
Now I
I
feel like
do.
the
I've
jerk
heard the
that
name.
knew. You know, the Adams Family.
You know, Annie, get your axe.
No thanks. See, yeah, you guys. See, I'm throwing out numbers. You're just throwing out random words.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
it's
picked an
called
actor that's
Tourette's, and
dead.
thank you for making fun
I
of me.
did.
You went the weak route. Like, oh, he was so good in the art form in The Godfather. I loved him.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to pick an actor that sucked. You guys picked an actor that sucked.
What?
So that's
Mine won an Oscar.
what does that mean?
What does
I
that
mean, really, what does winning an Oscar mean?
White
He
privilege.
had a great performance in something.
Not necessarily.
What?
What? Al Gore won an Oscar. What? What does that mean?
And that was inconvenient.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
he got
it's
you
the
there.
Ba-dum-bum.
He might have you there. I was with you the whole time. And
No, what? Like, okay, he won an
Then he
Oscar
threw out
for
Al Gore
acting.
winning an
For
Oscar.
acting. For
Okay.
acting.
Again, if you can win an Oscar for being Al Gore, what is an Oscar
He
mean?
I don't
wasn't
think
acting,
won
though.
it
He
for
produced a
being Al
documentary.
Gore.
Huh?
He
Couldn't
produced
win a
documentary.
presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy, you're gonna get
Jeez.
escorted out of here.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially here. I should have went to Sinclair.
You should have went to Columbus and told that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did last night.
Did you tell that joke?
No, I just need to shut up.
All right. God, you guys are terrible.
I'm terrible.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot.
That girl that I had that anal sex with thinks I'm terrible.
Joe Bell.
Is that a medical thing? I hope.
poop noodle is a medical condition.
Poop noodle. Yeah, that is definitely a medical condition, and you
I
should seek help immediately.
I enjoyed doing your show over the years since this is your last one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yep. See, and I'm making that decision too.
I'm pretty sure
I'm not deciding at this time.
I'm pretty sure I don't want the Easter Seals to see this. Actually,
yeah, fortunately, because it's on the radio.
I was really hoping to get invited back again, but clearly I'm not going to get invited back again.
Well, if you didn't defend Christian Bale so heavily,
Wait,
if you didn't so angrily defend Christian Bale and his
how do you feel about Paul Rudd, Scotty?
Oh, you know what? You guys all just suck. Paul Rudd's
not me, buddy.
I enjoyed him as Ant-Man.
I haven't seen Ant-Man. So I can't say.
There are some movies I did not enjoy him in because the element.
Wanderlust is amazing.
Yes.
That was that the one with what's her name?
Yep, her name.
Yeah, from Friends.
Yeah,
that one sucked.
No.
Oh, that was terrible. That was
Knocked
a terrible
Up,
show.
fantastic.
Yes.
This is 40, fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's no 6 feet below hell, but
okay, Don.
Exactly.
His face was so serious. I know. I know.
For you guys don't know, Don is a amazing American actor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You really are.
Thank you.
Your performances are up there with.
You're like a diamond in the rough.
That kid from the movie The Mask with Cher in it, or whatever it's called. Rocky Dennis.
Rocky Dennis.
Your performances are just that great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am glad that you recognize it. See, I don't need an Oscar. I have a Wells.
Oh.
That sounds like I'm a sex slave.
I have a Wellsy.
Yeah.
He's poop noodle deep
As
in
he
that
takes
well.
his bathrobe off.
I'm trying to get back on this show, man. Come on.
That's okay. I can be crapped on. It's good. I can take it. I mean, not like that.
What?
You know.
I can take it. I can be crapped on, and I can take it.
I can take it. Joe Bell.
Every single time I say that, I get a little harder on the inside.
As long as it's on the inside.
Yeah.
We have lost this show, so I'm going to go ahead and take a break because, to be honest, I don't even know where the hell we're going at this point. So,
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. Shit, we'll see you next week.
The weekend is over. Monday is here. But that doesn't have to be the end of your fun. Every week, Ellison Smith brings you a new episode of Saltwater Gaming, breaking down video games of all different genres, consoles, platforms, and eras. Get it all every Monday on Saltwater Gaming, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
See a broad to get that booty yak 'em, leg her down or smack 'em, yak 'em. Oh, got to be. Shit.
All right, welcome back to the show that wouldn't end, the Afterlife. Well, this is the Afterlife radio show because we died in that last segment.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
A whole bag of peacocks is what we're eating in here
today.
today.
Whole bag of peacocks, right there, right back to it. Yep. Scotty Mays sitting in as guest co-host for the week, so I'm blaming it all on him.
Yes,
we sure are lucky.
You should feel
sure
blessed.
are lucky.
Hashtag blessed even.
Yeah.
Hashtag bag of peacocks. Michael Wells still sitting in with us, hasn't run out of the building yet. Ranson Karr
hasn't been escorted out of the building yet.
Regretting showing up, and here we are.
And I was late, and I still regret it.
I think that's what the problem was.
Great.
You were late,
kept my
and
mouth
you
closed.
threw me off my game.
You know what?
Like
sucks? I didn't get Starbucks.
Yeah.
I didn't get.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I'm just drinking this stuff.
We have to end the show early so you can go get your.
You're drinking water. You're drinking what's good for you.
Shut your mouth.
Okay. All right. So hey, I got a show I want to plug.
All right, plug away.
It's got weird. Everybody's staring at me. Can y'all look away for a second?
You just took the attention away from everything else.
Yeah, you said it like proud, like you're about to perform in front of a king.
I redirected all of that onto me, and now I regret it.
Hey, Don, I got a show I want to plug. All right, go ahead,
Did it sound
Scotty.
like that?
Yeah, and then
Did it
nothing.
really sound like
And then
that?
nothing.
It did.
Really
It
ran
sounded like you were absolutely
It
demanding.
was like a squirrel moment.
We're talking about like bombing Syria. You're like, so I got a show I got to
Yeah.
plug
Yeah.
in
Which,
Syria.
if you want to see bombs on stage, come see me in Sydney next Friday at the Phoenix Reloaded, I guess.
Phoenix Reloaded.
I don't
in
even know if
Sydney.
that's the name of the place.
Yeah, it is Phoenix Reloaded.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll be headlining that show that night.
Headlining.
Which I don't even know if I have any
Wow.
business doing that after trying out for the World Series of Comedy.
Oh, did you get some good news on that?
I got some great feedback.
You got on stage,
so-
though, right? You were
Yeah,
actually
yeah. I was a
accepted. Oh, that's
participant
fine,
in the
that's fine,
contest,
yeah.
and I made everybody laugh. You know, I did what I needed to do, but unbeknownst to me, there's so much more to this. But the crowd doesn't know that.
Right.
The crowd doesn't really.
Right.
They're there to laugh. So
I got
if it's
penalized for
funny-
taking a beer on stage. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I barely ever drink too. Like I'll just take water, but like that night I was like, I'll have one beer.
Oh.
And that one beer is the beer I took on stage, and they penalized me for it.
Ugh.
No, I got some great feedback though. So and I took that and ran with it and started. So now I have to restructure. Like I'm in the middle of rewriting all of my material with the way that it's delivered.
And you're going to try to headline.
No, I'm going
with
to
all the
succeed.
rewritten.
I'm going to succeed.
Oh, well, you are going to headline.
I'm gonna do it.
So in the middle of restructuring and rewriting all your material, you're going to try to headline.
Oh,
You're
I
going to
Well, I've already committed to
successfully-
it.
You're going to success.
I'm going to
Emphasis
successfully
on-
show up
You're
to the
gonna
venue.
successfully-
I've successfully
What?
arrived.
Who gave you the feedback?
You
remember?
Not
Flowers.
no, it was the other
Jason.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason.
Jason gave me great feedback. Lowers gave me mean feedback, and it was actually hilarious because he said my set was all over the place and it was a mess. And Jeremy Johnson was standing next to me, and then I'm like, step to the side, like, wow, that was nice. And he looks at Jeremy Johnson and goes, I loved your joke about meeting your wife at the Waffle House, having sex with her that night, and 6 months later you're a dad. And I'm saying, that's my joke. And Jeremy goes, oh, that's his joke. And Jeff Lowers just looks at me like, oh, good job on that joke.
Yeah, on that one.
Wow. But the
And
other
then-
guy was amazing feedback. Like,
And
a
then he
lot.
turned around and punched a baby.
Yeah, exactly. And then threw it across the room. Luckily, I was there to catch it, rock it
And-
back to sleep.
And you
Yeah,
were the hero.
and handed it back to
but
the
didn't
mother.
even
Yeah.
get credited for that.
That's correct.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but he gave a lot of sound feedback as to like what bookers look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm questioning some of the people that book me.
Apparently, they don't know what they're looking for.
You just have a cool name.
Yeah,
That guy sounds cool. Let's book him.
yeah, it's the hair.
What did he just say up there?
It's the hair. and
Did he
the-
just bend over and Percocets fell out of his butt? What happened?
Yeah. We're booking him.
But
Just
it
because
was
we
cool.
could use the pick me up, I guess.
Oh, it's
Wait,
Where do we go from here?
All right.
So what was your show again? The Sydney Opera House? Is that where
The Phoenix Reloaded.
the
Thank you,
Phoenix
sir.
Reloaded?
Thank you,
yes,
Mike.
yes.
Thank you,
So-
Mike. Yeah, Friday night, next Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, do some good comics up there.
It's the Man Love Coffee House.
Yes.
It's, really good
That's
coffee.
Starbucks, actually.
Watch your mouth, Don. That's fighting words, Mr. Smith.
And Mike fell asleep. Did you notice that?
Nah, I was just thinking.
Say what you want about Christian Bell, but you bring Starbucks in this, we'll fight, buddy. We will throw down.
The man
You
loves
must be
coffee.
sad that they're closing for a day on May 29th.
I didn't know that.
Why are they doing that?
Because they arrested those two black guys.
Oh, okay.
So now they're
I
having
heard something
a
about
racial
that, yeah.
sensitivity classes. Are
Even
being
though, like,
held.
okay, the thing is, like, I was talking about this at work yesterday. It's only one person's fault. It has nothing to do, like, people are going after Starbucks.
Right.
Like, it's like Starbucks is like, black people suck. Which they
Which
don't.
is not Starbucks
Yeah,
saying
which is
that.
that-
It's the
yeah.
one idiot.
Yeah, it's just one manager that called the cops because they didn't order anything.
Yeah, I mean,
So
how
now,
you think?
now they're boycotting, literally wanting to boycott Starbucks because of one person, and there's one manager's stupidity.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, and you're taking out the entire thing.
that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
boycotting
Everybody
Fox
gets-
News because Sean Hannity's name got brought up. by
That's
the-
like not getting BP oil because they leaked all over the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I right?
Right? Am I right?
Well, I mean, that's all because
Right,
they leaked
yeah.
all over the ocean.
Right.
But you're talking about,
Yeah.
You're talking
How
about,
dare them punish that BP for that?
That's like
Oh, I only buy my gas at BP now.
buying
those
night.
oceans.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need no fish.
Yep. I don't like seafood anyway.
I'm
Yeah.
allergic.
Disgusting.
I'm just being
I don't
selfish.
care how many salmon died. I'm with you though, Mike.
my god. You did not
I
hear
did
that?
not do
No.
that. I did not
I
say
didn't.
You
that.
slipped that shank in there.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was just being no.
Said, yeah, it's not worth repeating.
No,
What
it's not
did
worth me
you-
repeating your joke.
I said you're just being shellfish.
Oh, that's pretty bad. I wish you hadn't
it was
repeated
pretty-
that.
Hey, that's what I said. Sometimes you got to listen.
You
to
done
me
lost
when I
control of
talk
the
shit.
show.
gonna
Get back
steal.
the mic, please.
And you don't
We-
like Christian Bale? Why?
Because he gave me that joke.
Obviously jealous.
He said, "You dish. It's funny." Anyway,
Take your
Back,
retainer.
let's go back to Mike. Mike
let's
had
go
some
back to
interesting
Mike.
stuff.
How's it going, Mike?
How's it going, buddy?
He's
I don't know.
How you doing, buddy?
he's-
I'm good.
He's just eyeballing me.
Yeah, you.
I feel like a ham sandwich.
No, I'm going to plug a show. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
I'm
you got
plugging
a
the
show to
show in my
plug?
own head right
That's
now. I killed you 3 times already.
I could tell. Do we want to hit some news since we can't get any worse?
Please.
All right. A Kansas woman suspicious that someone had broken into her home later found her ex-boyfriend's legs punched through her ceiling. The Salina Journal reports a 23-year-old Salina woman called police to her house Thursday after finding her front door chain from the inside. Police say they searched the house but didn't find any intruder. 2 hours later, the woman and her current boyfriend heard a noise and found the 25-year-old former boyfriend had fallen partly through the living room ceiling. Police say the suspect, Tyler Bergkamp, was hiding in the attic. The current boyfriend pulled Bergkamp's legs through the ceiling and began fighting him. Bergkamp faces several charges, including aggravated burglary and criminal threat.
What was his last name?
Bergkamp,
So he was perched
Yep.
up in the ceiling.
not bird. Yeah. Yeah, that would be
gotta
bad
go.
because if his feet and legs were sticking through the ceiling, he racked himself on a
Oh,
ceiling
yeah.
beam.
All that dude had to do is keep jumping, pulling his legs.
Exactly. I won. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Yep.
They found a book up there that said "Voyeur for Dummies."
Yep. And a drill with a hole ball because he
Just
was
put 2 holes here, preferably not your feet.
Yeah, well, he didn't bring a drill, so he had to punch it in with. I'll just jump up and down. We'll get there.
He was a real romantic.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Voyeurism is romantic. They just don't know it. I'm using that as a joke. I'm writing that down, actually.
Oh, you
Sorry.
bastard! That's a good one.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was actually when I was I was manager at a night manager at a Holiday Inn down in South Florida years and years ago, like when I was like 21 years old, and we actually had somebody fall through our lobby ceiling, in much the same way.
Really?
Yeah, and there was about 20-foot high ceilings on the marble floor,
Oh,
and he
wow.
landed on his head.
Oh.
Because our night auditor was checking somebody in. They heard he just thought it was somebody up on the second floor in the banquet rooms moving furniture around because he heard something banging on the floor up there. And what had happened is this guy was high on all kinds of stuff. I don't know what it was.
Scotty.
But he broke in.
You know,
He
I'm
broke
sick
in
of being
and punched his way up.
typecast in this world.
He punched his way up in the ceiling and got lost and couldn't find his way out. So he just started kicking. And the night auditor said he started seeing plaster fall out of the ceiling, and he saw a foot come through, and then a guy stuck his head out and said, "Catch me, I'm going to fall." And he just looked at him and said, "Well, I guess you're going to fall." And the guy fell out, landed on his head, 20-foot drop on the marble floors, landed head first, jumped up, and ran out the building.
Did they catch him?
Yes, because he jumped into a police car and said, "Somebody's chasing me," because the night auditor was chasing him. So, yeah, as the bellman was on the phone, the dispatcher said, "Well, hold on, sir. I think he just jumped into one of our cruisers."
That is,
And that's how Mike Wells
Yes.
met Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty Mays.
Actually, that story is true.
So was that one.
That's how we met.
that is.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's when I was first introduced to a poop noodle.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just
First
going.
time in prison is what you're
I
saying.
got a feeling that's not the first time. either.
Nope.
I'm going to make a snack called poop noodles. No,
Top ramen.
I got nothing for
Yeah,
that. So-
peanut butter and ramen. That's what your poop noodles.
No, it sounds delicious. Sounds
does,
like every
yes.
college student's dream.
Yep, come get you some poop. Rhode Island nudist campground is looking for a lifeguard, and the uniform is cheap. Nothing. The Providence Journal reports Dire Woods.
Yeah.
Dire Woods.
Lot of dead wood
nudist
at nude beaches.
campgrounds. What's that?
I said there's a lot of dead wood at these
Yep,
beaches.
yep, Dire Woods. Dyer Woods Nudist Campground's help wanted notice for a lifeguard this summer says qualified candidates must have, quote, excellent communication skills and the ability to work as part of a team. Campground president Jim Johnson says the lifeguard can wear a swimsuit, but it's not necessary. The campground offers swimming, hiking, volleyball, and sauna for people who aren't afraid to bear it all. Johnson says there's, quote, really no difference between the Dyer Woods camp in Foster and a regular campground. He says it's a family campground and people just show up to relax.
My thing is,
let it all hang out.
The thing is, if you are saving somebody from drowning, like last thing you want is like have their penis hit you in the
Where
leg.
did you get that story at? Because all I know is I heard Johnson, Woods, like there's all kinds of names that should not be in that story.
I got that story because I applied for the job.
Guess who's going to Dyer Woods?
Yeah, I'm going camping. I can't remember where I got that story at. I might have just made it all up, right? Are you questioning
No.
Are you questioning my integrity?
The names, that's all.
The only thing I'm questioning is the fact that it's a family campground.
Integrity.
Yeah, well, why can't you have a family of nudists? They have to come somewhere. Nudists have to they have to reproduce. So wouldn't parents that are nudists have children that are nudists?
Probably.
I learned it from watching you.
You can't walk into a Pizza Hut like that, Jimmy.
That's true. Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, there's all kinds of names in there. But Dyer Woods is
Garofalo, Man, and Schultz. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's that would be rough. So anyway, if anybody's looking for a summer job out there in the college, why not? You can go be a lifeguard at a nudist camp.
How much does it pay? Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Yeah, I would think.
I thought you said breast tax. I was like, huh?
Yeah, let's get down to breast tax. That's what I would think they would
Is
charge.
CPR different out there from a mouth to? Never mind. Good.
Well, I don't think that's a breathing organ.
Oh,
it's a breeding one.
Yes, it is. Well, although
you can kill the female if you do it
like
too much.
They do advertise breathable panty liners, so it could be. I don't know. It's worth a try. You can ask.
Geez.
So this is good.
Yeah. Moving on. It's like something from a Monty Python sketch. Portions of a 16th century Scottish castle were recently closed to the public due to a, quote, very angry badger. The tunnel at Craignethan Castle was closed last week because of the animal, said Historic Scotland, which manages the property. The badger apparently wandered in from a nearby forest. It's not clear what the animal did to leave the impression that it was very angry. Observers on Twitter suggested feeding mushrooms, peanuts, and peanut butter to the badger, but cameras sent in on Saturday revealed the Historic Scotland's cat food plot may have worked as the creature appeared to have fled the scene. So they got rid of a badger with cat food. Nothing.
I don't even know what this.
I was actually gonna sit back and listen
a
to
badger with cat food.
The genius of Ranson over here.
Well, Ranson checked out about 5 minutes into the show.
Badger cat, why did they choose cat food though?
I don't know. I guess
because the badger's a bad, but
I guess they used all their peanut butter on the dog. I don't know. Okay over there. Just keeps getting worse, doesn't
man.
it?
Somebody's bringing in flowers because they know this is dead.
Yeah, we're
for
dead.
The show.
Yep. All right, moving on.
So how much do you like your job?
My job here?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't pay me. Get what you pay for, Mike.
That's true.
A 5-story mural of a blue penis.
Really? Please said they had blue balls.
A 5-story mural of a blue penis painted on a Stockholm apartment. Has Stockholm syndrome at that. Apartment building is to be covered up after locals mobilized against it. They didn't. They mobilized. Mobilized against it. Rubbed them the wrong way, I'm guessing. The piece by artist Carolina Falkholt, was up for only a week before neighbors began to take action. The company that owns the block, Atrium Lundberg, told the local publication Aftonbladet Sorry, this is Sweden.
Those Swedes.
It was a Swedish penis, so we're okay.
You could ski down it perfectly.
Yeah.
You can buy them at IKEA.
Yes. Anyway,
What's going on, Don? Come on, buddy.
I'm trying to get through this, man. It's sometimes you get thrown off by a giant blue penis. That's all
Right.
I gotta say.
Imagine giving directions to.
So you're going to see this big blue penis on the left.
Yeah,
We live at just the tip. We live at just the tip of it.
Yeah. Anyway, according to Camilla Klimt of Atrium, the marketing manager, told that the culture and art are important in developing interesting urban environments. Of course, we care about artistic freedom, but at the same time, we must respect neighbors' opinions. She added that they would let the penis remain for a short amount of time so others can enjoy the art before it's painted over.
Let the penis stay.
Yeah. I don't know why the tenants are so flaccid about it.
Yes.
Like 2 weeks ago, I looked at a house. True story. I looked at a house in Franklin that was brick, and somebody vandalized a gigantic penis on the side of the chimney. And my wife's like, well, we'd have to get that off there. And I literally just looked at her and go, why? Why would we take that off?
The smoke,
That's
the
perfect.
smoke
Yeah.
coming out. So was it designed to where the smoke came right out of the tip?
No, it was lower. If they had a ladder, that would have been
Well, if
magnificent,
it was
but
white smoke, it means there's a new pope. That's how they decide that.
The king
And
has
all the
risen.
children celebrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
Oh,
I quit.
I think my spleen.
Mike, you want to take the lead
Yeah,
here?
Mike,
Yeah.
oh,
So
yeah.
there I am,
Well, Scotty's
right?
guest co-host. He needs to step it up. You need
Well,
to
I
step
tried
up
to
your
step it
game,
up earlier,
Scotty.
and everybody was just like, "Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Fancy Pants. Tell us about your show."
And then you didn't do anything.
I know.
You did
got
it
That was like the
self-conscious.
worst plug ever.
Once
Yeah,
again,
you
he
got
blames somebody else
about
for
your
his
own
fault.
show.
Ranson,
I'm really
am-
tired of this, Scott.
Let me tell you about accountability. I have none. Okay,
Okay.
it's your fault, not mine. Everything
All
was
right.
going fine
All right,
until
you
you
guys are
showed
being
up.
really
That's
catty
right.
right now.
And
You know, that's true. That's true, Scotty.
Wait a minute, what?
Every
Wait, what?
yeah,
How'd you do that?
You brought this show down.
I
Ransom.
always do.
I'm also a master manipulator.
So what are you doing next week?
I don't know. You want to come on the show?
Who's hosting? Because you're not.
no. But
There's some cops outside waiting on you to finish.
Just show me what button to
All
push.
right. You push all the right buttons, Scotty.
Hey, thanks, man. You had me at
You had me.
at Paul Rudd sucks.
Had you at Joe Bell.
I'm glad I never had to push any buttons to get on this show.
I had to screw somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what all this button
Oh, well, it was
is.
just a belly button.
Oh, I was deep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just deep. I had to have sex with somebody to
Was
get on
this-
the show.
Yeah.
Did you have expectations? Because we need to talk about that.
No.
All right.
Okay, good.
Anytime you're here, I'm like, whatever.
Because we hate to disappoint.
Oh, sure.
I mean, within this room.
Yeah.
As long
Of
as we
course.
have fun within this room, it's
Yeah,
good.
family's
People
one
Yeah,
listening
thing.
anybody-
outside.
yeah, this-
Yeah. Like family, no big deal.
This is a family
It's like par
show
for the
like
course.
Dyer Woods is a family campground.
Only certain people
Yeah.
prefer it.
Yep. See, that's where they should have a painting of a giant blue penis.
You
Just to
think
let you know.
campground
how
Your
is
it is.
inspiration was the Blue Man Group.
It could have
That's all I
been.
kept on thinking about.
Yeah.
She, like, growing up, like, I really like this Blue Man
Yeah,
Group.
she was a blue man groupie.
They
Yeah,
should carve a tree out of wood.
Well, that would have
And
made
then
more
paint it
sense.
blue.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But this was an actual painting. It was on a big banner. That.
Oh, you don't
was-
say. I missed that part of the story.
Oh, it was a banner.
Yeah, it was a painting.
Did you guys
It was a
miss
I
painting
that
thought it was
on a
like
banner.
on the actual
Wow.
building.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe you should read it again, Don. We missed that part of the story.
You sound like you did.
No.
You also missed the part about host of the radio show Don Smith.
I'm
You
sorry.
also missed the part about guest Ranson Karr.
see how good his acting skills are there? Like,
Still not better than
Exactly.
Christian
I felt
Bale.
heat.
Still not better than Christian Bale.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely no Christian Bale. I'll give you that.
No, definitely
Thank
not.
God.
Don's got talent.
you should really
Thank
watch. You should.
See,
You,
you
I feel like I got
now
to kiss
you
back up a little
remembered,
bit.
huh?
Yeah.
you should really watch The Machinist.
Don
man.
is a
I'm telling
god.
You
Okay.
would- you
I will
give it a chance.
I will give it an honest try.
I don't believe you.
You are correct. Not-
So like book clubs, we have give me a movie you recommend. I'll go watch it and I'll give you.
Here's a good question for you. How do you feel about Nicolas Cage?
Love
Fantastic.
Are you kidding?
That is the worst actor. Me and Mike.
Yes, I'm kidding.
Oh man,
I almost shot myself.
I just wanted to get that reaction out of you because I knew that's what it would
I don't
be.
know. Raising Arizona was Academy Award.
like don't get me wrong. There's been movies I've liked,
There are
but as
some
soon as
movies
he
he's
talks
done well in.
Con Air and he says, "Get the bunny back in the box," and that's like a real line.
So many people tell me how great that movie is,
Oh
and
my
that movie
God.
just gets on my
Me
nerves.
too. I hate it.
I mean, even the good actors that were in that movie were terrible.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I mean, what's Malkovich? Is
Yeah.
a good actor.
Oh, Chappelle was in
He
it
was
too.
terrible in that.
That's right. He was. I forgot.
Chappelle
about
was in
that.
it.
I bet he regrets every minute of that.
Nick Cage ruined my career.
No, he hates Half Baked.
Does he? I didn't.
Yeah,
know
he said I was watching a interview with him, and he hates it because he's like, I made a movie for weed, about weed for kids, and he's like hates the movie because of that. I'm just like, man, that's such a good movie.
It's like the direct opposite of Scotty.
Don, if you end the show on that comment,
All right. Well, thank you.
only because I had nothing for that.
But no, I've had so many people that
was
tell me
blindsided.
that I'm crazy for not liking Con Air, and that to me is a terrible movie.
Yeah, it is not a great movie.
Yeah. See, Scotty, what about you?
Not a fan.
Okay,
Not a-
okay. That's
So,
and
here's
that's
the
Con
thing,
Air
though.
2 is legit.
Now,
All right.
I will say, I love the scene when the guy on the plane, his friend on the plane gets shot.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I'm just waiting for him to go, Bubba, no, because it was like Forrest Gump scene all over again.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting because it was the same guy. It was Bubba.
Oh, it was. You're right.
Yeah, it was. It was Bubba that got shot on the plane. That was
Really?
his friend in Con Air.
Well, you
And
know,
the same guy that
the
played
fact that
Bubba.
you're asking me my opinion on that, so I do have a confession. Like, one of my favorite movies of all time is Disorderlies with the Fat Boys. Back in the, I don't know if you remember
Never
that.
seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it. It's terrible.
it's
But there is
pretty
one
bad.
Nicolas Cage movie I love. It's like one of my favorite movies ever. It's The Family Man, especially at
I
Christmas.
don't
time.
think I've seen that.
Love that movie.
Does it still choke you up?
Absolutely. Not even gonna lie about it.
My
Probably
favorite
like that
movie.
when you start catching some feelings watching a movie, you're like,
Get a case of the
Oh
feels.
man. I'll tell you what. Last night, Adam Sandler's show caught some feelings, teared up.
yeah.
Yeah, he did a tribute to Chris Farley, man. And it
Oh.
was amazing. Played Chris Farley in the backdrop of like the TV. I'm sure it'll be on Netflix.
Were your feelings alcohol induced too?
No, not at all, because they were $9 for a beer. So that is
ridiculous,
not
man.
my
Yeah,
price.
that's how you quit drinking. Actually, is
Yeah.
you go to a concert.
I had a water,
Yeah.
and that was $4.
That's why you smuggle water bottles in filled with vodka. That's what I used to do at Kings Island.
That's why you take vodka and put it up your poop noodle and
Yeah.
smuggle it in. Like,
I was going to say, not everybody
think
can
you
fit
smuggle
full
that
bottles
in.
of water up there, Scotty. I mean, you've had to practice, but not everybody can do that.
Scotty has a
Sometimes.
roommate that lives in there. Are you kidding me?
What's
Yeah.
that?
As a matter of fact, he's
Well, yeah,
controlling
yeah,
everything
yeah.
I say.
Who doesn't?
You're
But
a
not
puppet.
bottles of water, because a fist doesn't remain there for long.
Say hello to Scotty.
Oh. Is this an
Have
extended
we?
show? This week?
No, this is.
Looks like the
end.
dean's here. He wants to talk to you.
Yeah, awesome. He's my next guest actually, as he escorts me off the property.
His name's Dean.
Yeah.
He's the bouncer.
And by the way, be sure to tune in tonight from 5 to 7 for Ohio's on Fire. Speaking of Dean, because Dan Dean
Yes.
and I Wish I Was Laughing will be on there, probably
2%.
with Wendy, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Who hosts that?
Daniel Diesel or Dan
The
Diesel.
Diesel.
The Diesel.
The Super Diesel. Actually,
Yeah.
we called him at one point. Have you been on it? Have you been on the show Ohio's on Fire? You have to go.
We haven't reached that level.
Yeah, you
of,
have that level of professionalism
Yeah.
to be able to get on there.
I don't
Yeah,
think
it
he'll
takes
like
a
me.
lot.
So
I did it twice, and I'm pretty sure I'm banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love having Dan on my show, and I love being on his show because he gets really nervous if you start talking about subject matter that he thinks shouldn't be on the air.
Gotcha.
And the last time he was on my show, about all he did is he sat over there and hummed into the microphone because he was so uptight and nervous about what we were talking
Oh,
about.
you
He was
see
just
it, too. He gets so nervous.
Just killed me.
Yeah, I can't be on there.
Oh, you would have a blast.
Anal. sex.
Show bell. All right.
Noodle.
I think. Do you have anything? Do you have anything to plug, Mike?
Actually, got a ton of stuff.
Well,
not
you
that
have
anybody.
20 seconds.
Yes,
Not
22.
Okay.
You've had 2 hours.
All right.
Now
Time's
wait till
up.
now.
Time's
So-
up.
15 seconds.
Get it out of there.
So on the 20th.
Good job, Mike. Can't wait to see you there.
So on the 27th, I'll be in the Hideout in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Or his panic room.
And then on the second, World Series of Comedy in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Ooh. And then on the third, I'll be doing the Youngstown Comedy Festival. And then on the fourth, if I don't advance, I'll be at the Feathers show in front of Aaron's place.
Awesome.
And then probably stuff in between then. I don't know.
Sounds exciting.
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
Been
And
an exhausting show.
Well, tonight I'm at Morty's, so
cool.
forgot about Morty's.
Scotty, the Phoenix something
No,
or
I'm not
other
doing
up
it.
in
I'm not doing
somewhere.
it. I don't care. I don't.
You're done?
No, I'm
You're
not.
done?
I'm doing something next Friday in Sydney.
Yeah.
Some people are butthurt about it. Some aren't. You whatever.
Man
who
Lovers
is?
Coffee
Who is?
House.
I guess some other people booked shows in Sydney, and I had no idea that there was some conflict going on. And,
Ooh,
you know
jerk.
what? I'm already committed to this. I already said
You
I
went in
would
somebody's
do it.
territory. You're a snake.
Well, maybe that somebody should book me
You
for
are
their
a
shows.
snake.
You're
It wasn't my
trampling on
fault. I'm
somebody's
not the one that
turf.
booked it.
Oh.
It was just I
You're
didn't
still
know
a
about
snake.
this till last
Oh,
week.
so they should be upset with the person that booked it.
Well, yeah, but they'll do people are very passive aggressive on Facebook.
That is
so
true.
if you got
That
a
is
problem
true.
with people, take it to them directly.
Yeah.
That's how you get things
And
done.
then fight them to the death.
Absolutely.
Right, in a cage.
Absolutely.
In the cage.
Yeah.
That's why I hope I'm always on Dan Dean's good side. That dude is a jiu-jitsu
Yeah, I don't want to
bad
do that.
mamma jamma.
I've like made jokes at him, and he gives me a look, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Sorry.
You're about to get the 5-finger death
Yeah, I
punch
don't
right
want
to your
any part of
chest.
All right. Ranson, what
let's
do you got
see.
going on?
Next
I know
Wednesday, I'm at the Dayton Funny Bone with Doug Morgan and Jeremy Johnson and somebody else. Not sure who else.
Cool.
Got that video coming out later today for the film festival. Wiley's Mother's Day weekend. I'll be there with Brian Swinehart, and that's it for now.
All right. Well, that's all that I have patience for. So we'll we'll go ahead and call this a show, and
Hey, thank you,
and
Don.
call it a few
Thank
other
you,
things.
Don.
Hey,
No.
thank you guys for coming.
Don, thank you.
It has been a pleasure.
No, thank you.
Absolutely.
No,
Will
thank you.
For your pleasure.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not thanking you at
No,
all.
he's not thanking you.
Yeah,
No.
we won't be back.
These
next
mics are
week.
ribbed for your pleasure.
Tune in
What?
next week to see somebody else. Thanks for listening. This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms